do this. One sec. All right.
All right.
I think
Let's go.
people can hear everything. Maybe.
Oh, people got that lovely chug of my coffee.
You can hear it all.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, hold on. My computer is like out of shape. It's just like not used to this and a lot of activity, and it's like, what the hell are you doing to me? Can we hear?
Just like me.
Same. Can we hear? Can everybody hear? I edit this out, so I like.
Yeah,
know
we're
I keep doing it.
broadcasting.
Okay. Can we hear everything? I hope we can.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right.
Yeah.
Hello, friends. Hello,
Everything
Craig.
sounds good.
Yay! All right.
Oh.
Well, hello. It's been a while, so we kind of took a break. I think, life is coming pretty hard. I think a lot of people are starting their jobs again. School started again for a lot of people. It's just kind of, this whole freaking year has been really weird. But, yeah, so we might be doing every other week. We'll announce later, kind of. But I'm glad you guys are back. Today we have a special guest. We have BarmaidAlexis with us again.
Hi.
It's been a
Welcome
while.
back.
Hi. No, thanks for having me back.
Yeah, it's been so. What was the episode? Was it Sacrifices you were in last time?
Yes,
Oh yeah,
that was the one.
that was a long one because we had 2 subjects that day.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
yeah.
sacrifices and I think voice acting.
Yeah. Oh man, that's when we were like shooting for like an hour and a half, and now we're kind of like, if we make it to 45 minutes, not that we put less effort, but it's just exhausting to talk, and not really. I enjoy talking, but this week, I actually took kind of a leap back because I started teaching again, which everyone knows is just a shitstorm right now. But Vanessa she planned our subject. Sorry, I'm going to edit that out.
No, you good.
Serena, I just burned myself with my lighter. Oops. She took this kind of, she did all the research and wrote all the subjects. And so I'm going to let her just kind of take it away today. So yeah, go ahead and introduce your subject and tell us what this is all about.
Hello all. Well, today we're going to be talking about Final Fantasy summons. A couple things I wanted to touch on were I was very fascinated by the fact that a lot of summons within the series kind of are reoccurring. Like you see them multiple times, like Bahamut, Shiva, Ifrit, Ramu, Chocobo, Leviathan. I wanted to kind of talk to you guys about that and see what you guys which recurring summon is your favorite. Yeah, let's start with Alexis.
Favorite recurring. I was thinking about this because I just opened up the Google Doc. I am going to have to say Shiva, and that's only because I'm just thinking of one of her main moves from, I think it's Final Fantasy X, where she just snaps.
Yes!
And then everything gets destroyed.
And
I'm like,
so
that's all I
badass.
need. So
Oh, hell yeah, that was so cool. And then the camera just kind of zooms in on her finger and it's all manicured and perfect. And she just snaps and then everything shatters.
now I need a manicure.
Yeah, the only animation that I actually watched with all of those is Shiva's in Final Fantasy X. The other ones I skipped the animation and put that setting on, but with Shiva's I'm like, oh yeah. So I feel that.
This is cool.
Yeah.
Totally. How about you, Doctor?
Well, my favorite summon that's recurring is definitely Alexander.
Ooh!
There's just something about big, destructive, sentient castles that I guess does it for me. They're just he's really, really cool. I also think there's been several times in the series that he's had a extremely incredible and impactful parts of the game. Like in Final Fantasy IX, it's kind of the whole thing, right? And specifically in Final Fantasy XIV, his ultimate trial fight was just so long and so difficult. I never did it myself, but I watched videos. It was a 20-minute long fight, and he goes through all these phases where he's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It's just he's just incredible. He's so cool. That's my answer.
That's kind of an underrated one for sure.
I think so too, for sure. I think he's underrated.
Especially the raid with 14. I definitely didn't really, I knew Alexander, but not that much, and I was like, damn, I have a new love for him after the raid battles. So I feel that.
I always like spammed him in 8 because as soon as I got Alexander in Final Fantasy 8, he was my strongest GF and would just like clear the entire battlefield out. It was awesome. Made like random encounters so much easier.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I got him in 8. Now that I think about it, did I?
I often think that even in the games that he is in, like he's not even very used.
No.
I don't think either. Like for instance, like people usually glaze over him, but he was in 7 as well as a summon you can get.
Really? Oh man.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And
how do you get him?
I don't remember exactly how to get him off the top of my head, but I remember I would always work for it. I don't think I definitely wasn't one that you came across naturally in the storyline. You had to like
a side
pick it up somewhere. Yeah.
Alexis, do you know?
I don't, but I just know there are so many hidden things in 7, and I've only played it once, so that doesn't surprise me. Not to get off on a tangent, but I know when I played 7, like I almost missed like Vincent and Yuffie and like so many things.
Oh yeah.
Because they're so hidden.
Oh yeah, same.
I remember, I think I told you guys this on the podcast once, but when I played it, I 14 and I had an iPod Touch at the time, and I downloaded an app that was like a Final Fantasy VII walkthrough app, and I remember like just going through it because I didn't want to miss Vincent and Yuffie, and I did get them because of that walkthrough, but if it wasn't for that walkthrough, there would have been no freaking way, you know?
The only reason I got it is because I was playing with my husband, and there was like that puzzle that you have to do to like get Vincent. I was like, I'm not doing that right now. And he was like, just give me the controller.
Oh my gosh. Because yeah, you have to find him in like a cave and he's like sleeping in a coffin and it's like
really the mansion or something.
Yeah, something.
You have to do like a puzzle there.
Yeah, it was like a cave hidden underneath a mansion, which is just even creepier. Like you ever see those online memes where people find hidden passageways in their houses that lead to like underground cities and stuff? Freaky.
That's like
totally freaky.
I am Jeff says that Alexander is found in the Great Glacier in Final Fantasy VII. So that isn't that where Lucrezia is? If I'm not...
I think
no,
so.
She's in that crystal cave.
Okay.
I think
the
Great Glacier, isn't that just before you fight Sephiroth, right?
Oh, I can't remember. It's been so long.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, I don't know. Let us know, chat.
It's in the portion of the game where, remember when you had to go through the like the really snowy area that if you were out too long you would just faint and then have to be reset to like the inn or wherever you were staying.
That's why.
In that area, and you have to touch a hot spring, and apparently you get attacked by some sort of snow woman that comes out and either you get Alexander.
Oh my god, I did not know that.
I had to relook it up, honestly.
Thank you for that.
I'm playing again, we can go off in tangents, that's why we're here, but I'm playing Assassin's Creed right now and it's such a big open world game. Thank you for following the people that have followed. So I am Jeff and Original Lace.
Thank you guys.
They have like the markers everywhere, and I just think I'm like, God, how did people freaking do this back in the day? Because like Final Fantasy VII had absolutely no like markers or like guides or anything unless you looked it up. So I'm just like, oh my god, like I'm just playing this enormous game over Greece, and I'm just like, I like this much better than how it used to be, honestly. But though is actually super funny. It reminds me of a memory. So when I was young and Final Fantasy VII was like current those games, I would go onto like my parents' computer and you could always find those like huge documents that were just text documents of a walkthrough of the game. Yeah. And they were just super, super long. They were like on game FAQs or something. And when my parents weren't home, I would print off like all 200-300 pages of it. God.
And then my mom and dad would get so mad every time. I was like, I wanted to go.
Why are we out of ink?
Just print that damn walkthrough again.
His cartridges cost as much as a video game, and he's like burning through them.
Oh my god. My parents would have killed me. They would have been like, what is this shit? They would have like slapped me with it. But I'm like, why did you print this off? So, oh my god, that's so funny.
I'm not sure if I misheard, but Alexis, did you also say you did that too?
I did like that. I also remember like spending a lot of my allowances, like printing stuff like that off at the library for like a nickel a page, that type of stuff. Yeah. The library was probably like, what is going on?
What is this
child
weird?
doing?
They're like, whatever.
Like, I guess
funny to me
you're
because like
paying for it, so fine, but
Yeah. Like, we'll just take our money and keep silent.
God, what were you saying, Shadow?
Right.
it's funny to me because like if you're too old like me, then you got to live through dot matrix printers, which instilled in you the sense of never wanting to print anything because you would die of old age before the thing was done
Oh
printing.
my
It would
gosh.
print
Oh.
each pixel line by line. So
Oh,
like
no.
one line of pixels, then the next line. It was atrocious. So like I got to dodge printing like crazy because I was already experienced like with dot matrix printers. So like going at like GameFAQs or whatever, I would just save like the whole thing as like a Word document or something instead and just pull it up.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, because I'm like, what about guides? Like, why didn't any of us use just the guide? Were they? I don't remember. I don't think I ever used one of those book guides in my life. Like,
I only had 7 and 8 Final Fantasy,
Me
the
too.
official guides.
yeah, because it was Vanessa that. Or sorry, I keep doing that. Serena that. I mean, it's gonna take a minute to get used to. I'm so sorry.
Don't
I
even
was,
worry. It's
I
all
was
good.
playing it on stream. And I was playing 8 on stream on Steam. What stream? Yes, that's the right word. I cannot talk today apparently. But and I got lost in the sewer puzzle, and so she got out the freaking guide for me and was being in chat where to go. So and that's like my favorite memory of streaming because she was like, "I'm gonna go get the. I have it in my house. I'll go get it." And I was like, "Oh my
Don't
god,
worry.
it was great. I loved it."
Yeah. Oh my god. I had to go all over town to find that guide.
Oh my god. Yeah, I love it.
Literally.
They're expensive now. They're like $60, $100 if you want to get the original like guides. But anyways, back to subject.
Oh yeah, we
Sorry.
what were we talking about before?
Summons.
Shadow, Shadow, who's your favorite recurring summon? I'm so sorry.
I mean, I got to give props to Carbuncle just because nobody's mentioned him yet. I mean, we're named after him.
Hell yeah.
I would say probably just because I'm old school, it's either Odin or Bahamut. But I will say Final Fantasy VII, my favorite one was Knights of the Round. Penny in the chat also gave a shout out to Knights of the Round, so props for that.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I'm for the real heavy hitters. Bahamut and Odin, they're like, instant death, go through barriers, and they're just surefire wins.
Definitely.
Oh, I also do like the comedic ones, like how 8 had Cactuar and Tonberry as summons.
Mm-hmm.
So I love when they do that too. Like any of the funny
Ooh.
summons are always
Oh
cool.
yeah. And like
Definitely.
Jumbo Cactor, he had like a mustache on him.
Yeah, Jumbo Cactuar with his swirly mustache.
Yes. His little what's it called? An ironic mustache or
A hipster mustache.
A hipster mustache.
hipster mustache.
A gentlemanly
Yes.
mustache.
A gentleman mustache.
I don't know. I just guessed. I don't think that was actually it. But
Oh, in 8, the comedic one that I really liked was Brothers, because if you watch closely, you can see that the older brother totally cheats the younger brother out of that game of rock, paper, scissors, and he just goes with it.
Aw.
I love that one. I definitely do.
So
yeah.
good.
God, we have so many. I forgot about the comedic ones. Yeah, that's a good one to bring up because there are a couple. Gilgamesh being one of them. So yeah.
I feel like Yojimbo is kind of comedic too. Maybe that's
little
just
bit.
me. I just
He's
find
scary.
it funny that you basically have this like drunk samurai that you can pay to do things for you.
Yeah, he's like a true assassin. He doesn't, he's not working for free.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, you know what? He's got bills.
Have you all like? Oh, sorry.
No, I was just saying it's so weird how he you had to pay him what 99,000 gil or something. You had to pay like the highest amount possible, and then in 15 he just shows up, and he's not like a what do they call it in 15 Eidolon, whatever. He's not a son. He's just kind of a random character that you have to beat up in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, in 12.
No, in 15.
Oh, in 15.
Yeah, it's just like a random encounter, and it's just like Yojimbo.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh
I would
shit. Yeah.
Hanging
Oh,
out
you're
in the
talking about
world.
like the monster, right? The demon Yojimbo?
Yeah, and I was like, wait, isn't he a summon?
Oh,
Like,
okay.
why is he getting this like non-recognition here? I was so upset. I was like, what the hell?
That was freaky.
So-
I almost didn't want to kill him when I encountered him in
Yeah.
the sewers. I was like, kind of have an emotional attachment to you. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Aw.
What were you gonna say,
I would
Doctor?
like to make mention. I would like to make mention that I never took the time to learn it. I just threw money at him. But there is like a calculatable math equation that you can
Mhm.
follow, so you know how much exactly to pay him, depending on how much he likes you. Because there's a stat that's like a hidden stat in the game in 10 that changes how much Yojimbo actually likes you.
Really?
And once you get him to like you a lot, he'll do things for less money. So
Mhm.
Oh shit.
it's really weird. It's super complex. Way is more complicated than it has any right to be, because nobody probably
Yeah,
gave a shit about it.
I remember we did the calculation just to save
Mhm.
money, but it was a pain.
I think I just never
Sounds
got him.
like
I think
it.
I just gave up because I didn't have the money, and then he was a pain in the ass to beat. And so I just started playing it again. This is like my second or third playthrough, and I avoided it. I was like, I can't even be arsed with it this time around. Like I will live without him, even though it's like, you know, it just is what it is. I couldn't be arsed with it. That game is hard enough. So yeah.
Yojimbo is great. I know that if you look closely, when you give him an amount of money of gil that he doesn't like, he kind of like does this like gesture to Yuna when she runs up to hand him the money. He kind of goes like this, like he's
I
like,
do
I've never
remember
noticed
that. Yeah, he like holds up his
Yeah.
hands like
yeah,
silence wench kind of
go
thing.
away. He totally does.
He
It's
does.
so great. I love it.
I wanted to go into my favorite because it's kind of a weird one. I don't know. It's like basic. I really like Ifrit. I just do. I don't know why.
Fair, though.
He's always
He's badass.
He is. He's always the first one you get, but like I just find his presence comforting. I don't know why.
Oh, totally.
It just is like I don't know and then like in Final Fantasy 14, my class is Summoner, and I always use the Ifrit one. I don't use Garuda, which most people do use Garuda. But I don't know. Ifrit is just he's always been there. He's my main man. He brings me comfort. So that was my favorite. But yeah, so I love these summons.
It's great.
Yeah.
Who was it? I think it was Brett in our Discord. He was talking about how he likes Ifrit because I think it reminds him of his doggy. And in 10, the design is very like dog like.
Oh, he
Mhm.
kind of
Aw.
is.
I totally
Yeah.
like that.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
He looks definitely more canine in the 10 design. 8, he looks like a gremlin.
He does look like a gremlin. And
And
then
of course, 15,
you get him from like the pits of hell in 8 too. Like you like literally go
Yeah.
down to hell to get him.
fire cavern.
Yeah, and then
That was pretty cool.
I like that. In 14, Ifrit has a cult, which I thought was a really cool
Yeah.
part of the story.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I joined.
That's
Did
very
you?
meta.
I don't think I did, but he has like a cult of like I forgot what I want to say NPCs, but that's not what they are. The monsters, I forgot what they're called, but they look like him too, and they're all part of this cult for Ifrit, and then you have to beat him. But I thought that was hella. Yeah, they're called like
Oh, that was
Ixion.
so
No,
cute.
that's a summon.
Yeah.
I
I
can't
think
remember.
they're like at the first time you do. I think that's like one of the first like big battles you do in
Yeah.
like 14.
It's your level 20 trial, I'm pretty sure, or level 30.
Yeah,
Like
something
one of,
like that.
Yeah, it's like the first one. So Ifrit's always the first. He's always there for you. You know, it's like
Dependable.
he's dependable. You know, yeah. So. But
I actually would like to say I really liked what they did in 14 when it came to summons. Instead of them being your allies this time, like most games, you actually have to fight them a lot. I think I thought it was always really cool going through Final Fantasy 14 for the first time, like actually being put up against them.
Yeah, no, I
Really
like that
like that.
too. And then Shiva's a couple times. So you've got Shiva for a trial, and then she's oh god, is she an Eden raid recently?
She is technically not the boss.
No?
Very technically. It's because there's gonna be spoilers for Shadowbringers right now. Just so you
shoot.
know.
It's so hard not to.
Well,
5 seconds turn off your
It's not from the recent patch, a spoiler. It's not from this newest patch. It's from a patch before. So it's been out for several months at this
Oh,
point.
okay, then yeah, I think that's fine. This new patch,
yeah.
not yet. Yeah.
What's her name? The new gosh, I can't remember the characters' names now. The girl that they were with, that's the young Ryan.
Oh,
Ryan, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Ryan, yeah. She absorbs the power of Shiva.
Right. Okay.
So the boss is actually Ryan,
Mm-hmm.
but she is Shiva embodied, kind of.
Ryan is a badass too. She's got a lot.
She is. I love her, actually.
Yeah. No, the characters are. If you guys have not played Final Fantasy 14, please go play it. Like, people shit on it so much because it is an online game, but it is so good, and the story is so good, and it's just a great place to be. So I don't know. Yeah, Doctor, we're the only two that really. Oh, well, I guess Alexis, you too.
I need to get back into it. I might join like whatever server you're on because I need a group of people to like be able to like talk to and actually get on like Discord with and coordinate with.
Oh, I have an awesome FC.
Instead of playing with randos.
Yeah, I've got an awesome FC if you want to be with them. They are amazing. They're not part of our group, but I love them and I've been with them for years, and they're very, very open people, but they always do like events and stuff, but I'll give you that after.
Yeah.
They're wonderful. I don't know. It's downloaded but not installed. People are always like, I need to get back on it. I feel like once you hit level 80 though, it does kind of get boring and you really got to like be motivated to play, or else, there's not much more to do. So anyways, Vanessa. What? Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, for people who have not played the game or have been meaning to, now is like the best time, in my opinion, to get into it, because with 8 point, what was it? It's not even 8. I'm sorry, 5 point.
Was it 3 or 4?
Yeah, 3 is the newest one. The newest one. With 5.3, they also rolled out the new main story quest for level 1 to 50, because it was just far, far too long, and most people lost interest before they got through the level 50 quests.
Thank goodness.
But now they've like removed a lot of quests and kind of like made some together, so it takes apparently a lot less time to do it. So that's always my big recommendation. And if you're worried about it being an MMO, it's for sure storyline focused before being an MMO.
Oh, definitely. It's all story. And like this new patch that came out was probably one of the best in my opinion. I like screamed. Yeah. I was like screaming in the middle of the night over it, and my boyfriend was like, "Shut the hell up!" And I was like, "I'm sorry, I can't." So, anyways, Vanessa, go on with your. Yeah. We just like invaded this with different stuff, but. Yeah.
No, go on. This is totally what I'm here for. I love the conversations that are sprouting from it. I'm totally
my tea.
Getting off on it.
Getting off on it? Oh my god.
Go get more tea.
I would, but it's too far. I'm like, fuck it, Yeah, but go on with your good self and your questions.
Oh yeah. There is something else I wanted to ask y'all. So, you have like your storyline summons that will appear like as you go along in the story, and there are some you have to go on a separate quest to obtain. Like, which one was the most pain in the ass for you?
Oh, hell yeah. We have some Twitter comments on this I'll bring in after everyone does.
Oh, yeah.
Talking, so.
I love the comments we got on Twitter.
Yeah, we got some good ones.
Reading it all up.
So,
okay.
Who wants to go first?
I can go. I know I mentioned this on Twitter, but the only ones I really had a problem with were a few of them in Final Fantasy VII Remake, and not because the summons were like particularly hard to get. The ones where you just had to like fight the summon and stuff were fine, but there were some that were like hidden in like really pain in the ass places in that game. Yep. And if you missed it, you would have to backtrack, and that got a little old. Like, I think Fat Chocobo is hitting like somewhere weird in like one of the reactors.
Oh, Jesus.
And there's a few of them like that.
Oh, yeah. You're talking about the one that was like hidden. You had to like turn off this fan and then go back around and then go back into the fan. And
there's like a few of them like that.
Leviathan?
I think so, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. No, because I remember I fought like Fat Chocobo multiple times to get that 300% stagger trophy.
For the trophy, yeah.
Wait, just somebody from chat, and I need to bring this up before we let it pass, but Bojangles just said 13 summon fights were a pain in the ass, and I 1,000,000% agree, because I will never forget playing Final Fantasy 13, and this is not my most frustrating experience, but it's one of them. I almost forgot about this. Oh my god. And trying to beat Odin, because you have to like beat them and like kill them and then they're yours. And I remember beating up Odin as light, and that was the hardest fucking fight. And I actually gave up the game because I couldn't beat it. So like I played again later in life, but like I like couldn't. I was like, I think I was like 17, so I was just like, oh my god, like what the hell? I was so mad. So, and that was like the hardest. It was the first one, and I remember like the hardest one. So that was.
At least you got up to. Sorry, keep going.
I was just saying that wasn't my most frustrating, but I do remember that, and I'm so glad somebody brought it up because it is so fucked up. Oh, I fucking hate it. So
at least you got up to Odin. I think that like.
Oh no, Odin
Shiva
was the
was
first one.
Odin was the first one?
Oh no, Shiva was the Shiva sisters, but Odin was like the second one. It was very early in the game, but I remember just like giving up on it, being like, "Fuck this!" Like I can't deal with it. So
I have a save file from like the last time I played that, and it's stuck right before the Shiva battle because I could not beat her. I don't know why, and then I never picked up 13 after that. I was so angry.
Honestly, they're summoning, and they call them Eidolons, I think. The names change so much, so it's like not safe to say one. But their Eidolon system was really weird. I hated it because it was just too much. I couldn't do it. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh god, that one was rough.
Yeah.
I'm having flashbacks.
As Craig just mentioned though in chat. Oh, go ahead, Shadow.
No, you go ahead, dude.
I was gonna say, as Craig said just now, it says it wasn't always all-out attacks in 13. Libra told you how to fight them. I learned that pretty early on too, when I had to start like exactly seeing what I needed to do to take them down, because there's more strategy to it than a lot of people like to pretend.
I think that's why it frustrated me though, because I just wanted to beat them up and like go on with my life, but I actually had to think about it, and so it just like frustrated the hell out of me, because I'm like what was it? LTA used a good phrase once for this. He said like, you guys are like a hack and slasher type of gamer, like to me and Serena, and we were like, yeah, we just want to get done with it, and that's kind of how I am. So
same.
having to use strategy, I was like, hell no, just beat it up. So which I think
I just hit X repeatedly.
Yeah, which I think I picked up on later, and that's why I was able to beat it eventually. But yeah, that was enough. So
what about you, Hylia?
I mean, 13
or was like
13, and then I said on Twitter, I said that the Odin 1 and 8 was really frustrating for me, which a lot of people are like, wait, it's so easy, like, but there's a time limit, and you have to get up the tower, do this whole puzzle, and you have a time limit to beat him. I think you only get like 20-30 minutes maybe, which sounds like a lot, but it's not when you're trying to figure out this puzzle. I think you had to help me with it too, because you had the guide, and I was like, what do I do? Because you have to like get someone's eye and then bring it back, and then take the eye again and bring it back, and it's just, and when you're in a time limit, it's just too much. And then I think the thing that frustrated me the most was you didn't even get Odin really as a GF. You just kind of came in when he wanted to. It was very random. So I was like, I did all this fucking work to get this fucking GF, and I don't even really have any control over it. It just kind of shows up randomly. So that was really frustrating for me. It was very, I'm having flashbacks of that, and that wasn't very long ago. So
that would piss me off too, especially if like Odin falls during like one of those battles, you lose him, and he's replaced with Gilgamesh, I think.
Yeah, because of Cypher. I remember Cypher.
Cypher can kill him.
And I'm like, what? I remember I had only had him like twice by then. I was like, he only came in twice and now he's already gone? Like, come on. I was so mad. I was like, fuck this guy. But even though I do like Gilgamesh more, I just was still like, I wanted Odin. I fought hard for this freaking boss. So I think it is on my stream, but it's probably long gone now. It's been a while, so.
Probably. It might still be there, like deep in the archives. Gilgamesh was in 12 too. He was a hunt, I think. I don't know if he becomes one of your summons, but I know you fight him, and that fight's kind of funny. Who is he voiced by? I think it was like John DiMaggio voiced him.
What the hell?
In 12. Yeah.
So
it was great. He was
So
like
many
super
games.
animated, super comical.
Final Fantasy games.
Yeah. He's the best.
Yeah.
That one is really cool too, because like all of his swords were like previous weapons throughout the Final Fantasy series. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And then like after you fight him, there's a cutscene where he like pops back into the cave after you leave, and he's trying to be all sneaky, and he like steals one of the swords that's like still like sticking up from the sand. It's pretty great.
Oh my goodness.
Shadow, how about you? Any pain in the butt
Oh my god.
side quest?
So
Yeah.
many.
Here we go.
So
Tell
many.
us all about it.
I mean, like, I'm just gonna go back to the old days, like Final Fantasy IV. I remember, I was fighting in like the intro zone, and I had got a rare random drop for an imp summon, and it was just like an item drop. And then I learned through, I don't know, some like video game magazine or something, that there were more in the game. So I spent like 1,000,000 hours trying to find like which enemies I could turn into summons. And it's just ton of grinding. I think it was like a 0.5% drop rate. So you could get like the grenade enemy, a cockatrice, the imps, and they were all like useless. So you go through like all of these hours for drop rates, and then you use them, and it's just garbage. Another one that was frustrating for me was Odin/Raiden from Final Fantasy VI, because Odin, if you kept the Magicite for Odin, you can boost your speed stat. But if you upgrade him in the same exact area to Raiden, he's stronger, but then you can only get the quick spell. So if you upgrade him, you lose the ability to boost your speed. So like you get a weaker summon with less chance of success. I don't know, like stuff like that was frustrating for me. I didn't find any of the later games to be any worse. So it was just like, I'm just glad I'm not in the old days.
Yeah. Faux show.
I feel like endless grinding for like no reward is the worst kind of punishment or quest. Like I'd rather
Oh,
something complex
for
like
sure.
Phoenix, for example.
Oh yeah, those are total letdowns. It's really suck. Okay. Doctor, did you go? Did I ask you this one yet?
No.
No.
Oops, sorry, I was muted. Are you talking about the ones that are pain in the ass to get?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but my immediate reaction is, I think I just mentioned it in chat a little bit ago, actually, is I was never able to or have the attention span long enough to get Knights of the Round in 7 because of like the chocobo breeding and whatnot.
Oh god. That rabbit
Just-
hole.
I just couldn't.
Yeah, that was a little rough.
So much.
That was rough.
But I can't.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, I can't think of too much other ones that really were a real pain to get. It was, if I remember correctly, the fight, all the things you needed to do unlock the fight with the Maga sisters to obtain them was kind of rough. Because you had to get a bunch of different things before you could even engage her, and then they were pretty hard. So that one was, I guess, another one that I could point to. That was kind of frustrating. Apparently.
Dude, I replayed 10 so much that I have most of it memorized. Like, it's kind of gross. Which brings me to like my.
Sorry.
It's not really. It wasn't a side quest or anything. It was part of the main story. But trying to get Bahamut in 10 was a pain in the ass, because I remember you were kind of on like. You were in this maze and you were riding this glyph through these different pathways, and you didn't have any control over the glyph. You just had to hit X or I think circle at the right time to get off and on. And there was this one point where you're trying to get the treasures, and the treasures within the Cloister of Trials, and if you didn't hit X at the very right moment on this path right before the edge, you'd fall off and have to start all over.
Jeez.
That was frustrating.
I do remember that, actually. Oh, man.
Long enough, I must have just blocked it out of my memory.
It was the most annoying Cloister of Trials in the world. I thought that getting Shiva in that one was hard, but Bahamut was just a nightmare.
Oh, God. Vanessa, what's yours? Like, what's your most frustrating experience? Or, sorry.
See, Yeah, probably that. Oh wait, actually, you know what? I'm gonna change my answer. It was Anima because I remember my first
Yes.
playthrough with 10. I didn't know that you had to find the destruction spheres in each of the temple and then use it to destroy a part of the Cloister of Trials to get to like the hidden treasure, and then that kind of played into getting Anima. And I played that whole entire game. I got to like the very end just before you're about to go fight Sin, and I fly my happy ass onto Beige Temple, fight stupid Giozigiano, whatever, and I get to the flippin' Cloister of Trials, and I'm pushing the little pedestals, trying to get them to light up so that I can enter, and this one stupid pedestal won't go in.
Oh my god.
I'm sitting there like, why? I got all the treasures, why? And then I remembered, oh yeah, there was this time at the Jose Temple where I forgot to get the destruction sphere, or like, no, it was the dumb thing. I got the destruction sphere. I blew up the wall and I saw the treasure chest, but then my dumbass was like, ooh, what's up the staircase? And I went up the staircase and couldn't go back and open that chest because it went straight into cutscene mode. And I could have easily just like resetted the game and started all over. But the last time I had saved on that save file was back in Luca, so I would have had to like backtrack a lot
Fuck
to get
that.
to it.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, I was like,
Nobody has time for that.
No.
Can I ask you a question?
What's up?
Has anybody played not remake, but Final Fantasy VII? I guess it was like the PC version that was also released on PS4.
I've played it.
No.
It was available on Steam.
Can you fast forward your summon stuff?
Yes. You can
'Cause I
fast
was
forward
gonna
everything.
say, like, that was really annoying about Knights of the Round. Like going through the trouble of getting Knights in the Round and then seeing it for the first time was awesome. But then if you're using like what is it, W summon, I think, where you like double up your summons and cast them back to back, doing 2 Knights of the Round back to back, like you could do your homework in that amount of time.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
My big complaint was also when Sephiroth at the end would cast that stupid comet ability,
Oh,
and you'd have to
Oh,
watch
yeah.
it destroy the entire universe before it gets to you. Like, all right, I guess I'll make a sandwich.
I'll make
Yeah.
a sandwich. Oh,
Oh
God.
jeez. I've
But
only
I would
played
like
it
to
once, and
Go
I was.
ahead.
Oh, go ahead. I guess I could see how that'd be annoying, but I only played it and saw it once. So like that first time, I was like glued, but I could definitely see how that would get old
Oh yeah.
after a while.
I feel you on that. Like the first time seeing those long cutscenes, you're just like, wow, these
What's
graphics
going
are
on?
amazing. And then like third time over, you're like, okay, hurry up.
I know. That brings me back to Kingdom Hearts. I remember that battle with Ansem. I'm going off Final Fantasy to Kingdom Hearts. That battle with Ansem in the
same
first
thing.
one where you like lose and you have to do like, you'll never take Kyrie's heart like over and over again, and you're just like, oh, please kill me. I don't want to hear this again. Like,
Are you? Oh my god! You know what? I think I know exactly what you're talking about. In Kingdom Hearts 1, were you talking Kingdom Hearts 1?
oh yeah,
First
what
one?
does he say? It's when he like stabs himself to like release Kyrie's heart, and you're just like,
I remember
what?
that.
you know, like, oh god, I'm trying to think because there was like a line that you would hear over and over again, and it was just like, because that battle was freaking hard. So
Yeah, and the thing
Yeah.
that sucked. I'm assuming you mean when you first fight him in the Bastion area. I can't remember what
yes,
it's called. What's it
that's
called?
what it was.
Yeah, Hollow Bastion. The thing that pissed me off about that actually was I was pretty young when it came out, or relatively young at least, and I had a really hard time beating Riku for the first time.
Yes, that was it.
And there was a massive cutscene directly before it that was unskippable. So every death meant just back to the cutscene. At the end, I was like basically just reading it out loud with them.
I remember that because I remember Donald was really obnoxious during it, and you'd hear him go like, "Ah!" like over, and you'd just be like,
Oh, God.
you know, I
I
can't.
wish you could mute characters in Kingdom Hearts,
Oh my
just
God.
like particular characters.
like Donald, please just shut up. Like on. His voice really grinds my gears. So like hearing that, oh my god, yeah, I'll never forget that because I remember, yeah, like literally putting it down, being like, I have about 5 minutes, and like going to the bathroom or like getting a drink before the battle started. So,
Right.
it's
Oh, God,
we've all
that's so
definitely been
good.
through it as people who have played these games. Kids don't know how good they have it nowadays, or they can skip
With these skippable cutscenes.
Yeah, they don't freaking realize. I'm just like, you guys suck. Like,
I
so-
still get thrown off with like when you're playing like an emulated thing, like on Nintendo Switch Online, you can play Super Nintendo and regular Nintendo, and you can like literally rewind. So if you fall off a cliff or something, you rewind, and I'm
Oh my
just like,
God.
What? Save
What?
states and like all of these like so like now you can actually beat the original Ninja Gaiden like if you're not a video game pro. You can just like rewind every time the game gyps you.
I mean,
it's awesome.
Hell yeah, but like
Sounds handy.
I'm like gonna make my children sit there and play the original games and be like, if I had to suffer, you have to suffer. So,
Make them play Final Fantasy VI without like the sprint shoes relic.
I'm gonna be honest here. I totally used a mod with Final Fantasy VI because shit got hard for me. I was like, yo, I can't do this anymore. So I did use a mod. It wasn't that bad. It was just like to help me out a little bit because I just was like, I don't think I can do this battle with Kefka by myself. I really don't think I'm high leveled enough. So, yeah.
Feel that.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that reminds me. You know how in Final Fantasy X-2 you had to watch all the cutscenes, including the ones with Mason, the scholar?
Even
If you
in the
wanted to get
remaster, they didn't have the skips.
No, they didn't. Yeah.
I'm like, you guys huffing pain over there? Like, what is going on?
They
I
just.
know you have the
no.
technology.
They're like, you will learn this story that we worked so hard to put together. We will force it on you
Yeah.
if you want that perfect ending.
Well, then, what else was it? So, like, all the remasters have, like, a 3x speed thing. They have a no encounters, and they also have some other cheats in them.
Yeah, like the 999 or instant like limit breaks, which
Yeah.
is so nice for grinding.
Oh, it is. And then,
All
but
that.
10 doesn't have any of it. 10 is like, fuck
Oh, I
you, you're gonna do
know.
this right. And I'm like, ah.
Yeah, like I've been playing like this. I played the 7 port on the Switch, and I've been playing the 9 port on the Switch, and like being able to turn off the encounters so I could like explore an area or figure out a puzzle without constantly being like pulled out of it is so nice.
Oh, it's so great. And also, like, I don't know, maybe they were just afraid of how Tidus would look if he was running really fast with 3x speed, but like it works. But also, like, Final Fantasy IX is a very slow paced game, and so having the 3x speed almost makes it normal. So I wouldn't be able to play it if we didn't have that. But for 10, they were just like, that sucks for you. You're playing.
No, you're gonna do this.
So yeah, we all use them. If you haven't used them once in your life, you're lying to yourself. I'm sorry. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
Although I do have a question. Speaking of Kingdom Hearts, because I'm starting to finally finish Kingdom Hearts 3 because I just did not care earlier. But do you guys count the like ride attraction like moves as summons? Because they kind of feel like summons. In like a way.
I think I consider them summons now that you mention it.
Kinda.
What else would they be, right?
Yeah, like they kind of feel like it.
It's so weird because they're a different type, but yeah.
Did Kingdom Hearts 3 have like official summons, or what was it?
They did.
I think there's like a few, like I know like Jumbo Cactar I think shows up, but it's just like in a cutscene. Trying to think of what else.
Well, they have like the summons, like Ariel is one. You can summon her, and you.
Oh yeah, that's like the Disney character summons.
Yeah, so they've always had that. What?
I totally forgot about those.
Yeah, well then I'm like, I wonder, that is kind of like a summon, because yeah, they had the Dream Eaters, they had Simba, and they always have Ariel is kind of like a summon, and I think Peter Pan too sometimes, but
yeah, there's a few of them.
Yeah, but I'm like, I wonder if, I mean, it doesn't really feel any different. You kind of have to like build up to summoning that, and you have to like use it when it comes, like it's not available all the time. I don't know. That's a good question though. That is a really good. Oh, Wreck-It Ralph was one too.
It counts.
Yeah, I think so too. Even though you don't really have to, I mean, I guess in Kingdom Hearts in general, you don't have to gather any of them. Even the Disney characters are just kind of there for you eventually, but you know, so is the other ones.
Yeah, I think in Kingdom Hearts, or maybe it's only in Kingdom Hearts 2, I'm not sure. There's a few that you have to like either bring books to like Merlin or Yen Sid to like get them or something like that.
Yep.
So I think there's a few that you have to like do special things for, but most of them just kind of show up.
Right.
I don't know if I'm just having a bad memory, but I'm pretty sure there was a summon in the 100 Acre Woods in 2 that you could get, but you still had to kind of do the same thing. You had to bring in pages of the book to unlock that part of the book. So in essence, you had to work for the summon, right?
Yeah.
So. I think
Can I
Kingdom
just
Hearts-
summon a giant jar of honey in 100-acre woods and just like smash it over enemies?
That'd be great.
And then like Pooh comes to like body slam the enemies because he wants to eat the honey. Like that would be awesome.
Oh my
Like,
God.
yeah.
It'd be pretty epic though. I'm not gonna lie.
Kind of like a fat chocobo kind of summon.
Or just like pour honey on them, and then they're just.
yeah.
And just like
And then
That might
Pooh's
be a
like,
little too dark for Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Kingdom Hearts. I feel like 2 was like the most authentic, closer to Final Fantasy than any of them, though. So that's kind of why it was like that. You know, I don't know. 2 is just always gonna have a special place in my heart, though. I'll always like be a weird simp for 2. Like 2 was my favorite by far. So.
Remember when Kingdom Hearts had Final Fantasy characters?
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I know this isn't even the topic that we're talking about, but I just need to vent about it. I think Kingdom Hearts' by far largest mistake was including important parts of storyline in like kind of one-off games. So you have no reference if you're not playing the like just the main series. And I've heard even though it's like on principle, I'm not going to get the Kingdom Hearts melodies, whatever, where it's just a rhythm game, because I've told that also has important storyline elements, and I was like, why?
Yeah.
Why?
I'm pissed about that game. I want to see
finish
Kyrie's
3,
story in an action game.
But I'm over the series. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, I am too, and that feels really bad because it's one of my favorite series when I was growing up.
I'm gonna get Memories of Melody 100% because I love Kyrie and I have no control over myself when it comes to Kingdom Hearts, but I do feel you guys with like I think it's bullcrap. I think they just should have had 1, 2, 3 and not one side thing. Yeah, you know, it just got too much.
And the thing is I don't even necessarily...
memories, 146 million days.
Yeah, and they tried to rectify it and put them in like PlayStation and like PC collections, but it's just like it's too late.
It's too late.
Yeah.
You had to like I remember like when Birth by Sleep came out and also Crisis Core, and it was I think that's the only reason I got a PSP is because I wanted to play those two. Honestly. Mm-hmm. Oh wait, no. Yeah, that was it. Okay, I just confused it for something else. But yeah, I agree. Even though I will be getting Melodies of Memory because Threat Rhythm was my freaking jam, and I love rhythm games. But
that's fair.
But I am glad they're giving Kyrie some recognition. But I do agree with you, Shadow. They just need to have her in the freaking action. She's been a side character for so long.
I also feel like it kind of like it harms like the presentation because here you have finally like a female-led Kingdom Hearts game and it's a rhythm game.
Yeah, it does. I
like it should be a mainline feeling game. Like I want badass Kyrie. I don't want dancing Kyrie.
I agree.
Yeah.
So it's so funny for me too because like I don't necessarily hate the idea of a Kingdom Hearts rhythm game because like rhythm games are my super jam.
Oh yeah.
I play Mario for like 4 hours a day every day. So but it's the only problem I have is that it has important lore bits in it. That's ridiculous. And there's been so many spin-offs. I want someone to look me in the face and tell me the Kingdom Hearts storyline makes perfect sense.
It doesn't. I'm sorry.
I love Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 and even 3 were some of my favorite games. Like I loved 3 even. Some people didn't like it great, but I think it hit the mark with how it used to feel. I was sad to see no Final Fantasy characters, but I also had heard that the reason was Kingdom Hearts was kind of its own IP that didn't need Final Fantasy characters to really carry it anymore.
Yeah, but like it's part of it. I feel like it was kind of
you're not wrong. I wish they were in like
pitch.
What'd you say?
Like that was the whole like concept like behind Kingdom Hearts. Like let's put these things together and make a game.
It's the mix of two worlds colliding, and it was beautiful. And then they just fucked it up.
It was the long con to con everybody into a Disney only like RPG.
Yeah. You're all
we'll just take them out.
Dang.
Yeah.
They'll be grumpy for a bit, but they'll come back.
God. Yeah. Anyways, we've been on a lot of tangents, but that's fine. It's good. It's good we're on tangents. I feel like
Can I ask a question?
Yes, do it.
I want to ask a question. I want you guys to think about it. And I already have an answer, so I'll give you time to think about it. If you could make your own summon in a Final Fantasy game, you can... Sky's the limit. You can do whatever you want.
I've got one. I think about this often.
Hell yeah. Okay, so then I'll let you answer first. Like, if you could make a summon in any Final Fantasy game, which game would you put it in, and what would it be?
So we did talk about this before. I can't remember what episode, but we were talking about how we would like to see more diversity, not diversity per se, but just like different summons and like new ones. And we were talking about how like some of them pertain to Hindu gods, and we talked about having one that was Ganesh. And ever since we said that, I have been thinking about it every day of my life. How to have a Ganesh summon that is badass with an elephant head and sits there and is just like, I'm gonna cast magic on you. That is my dream, and I think I would literally nut if it ever happened.
Nut.
Because I love Ganesh. I literally have a Ganesh statue right here with me. Can you see this in a
Aww.
game? So yes,
That's awesome.
ever since because like Lakshmi is in there, which she's beautiful. We love her. We have Shiva, which is portrayed kind of weird compared to the Hinduism-ish things, but whatever, I don't care. I just want Ganesh. That's all I want, and I want him in every game. So that's mine. What is your Shadow?
I would put in every Final Fantasy game a summon. I don't know what I would call it yet, but it would be Zack and Vincent. Zack would like run up and just hyper slash all the enemies, and Vincent would be in the back just like gatting everybody down, just like the double combo of my bros.
That could be the new brothers.
Yeah, exactly. Like Brothers
That would be
V2.
so cute.
Wouldn't it?
Right?
Oh my god.
Or they could have
Wait,
alternates. Like
please.
I always like if summons did alternates. Like you can summon a summon, and then there's like a main attack, and then there's also like an alternate attack the summon could do. So like the main attack would be whatever I just described, and then the second one maybe they would do like an homage. So they would do rock paper scissors, and then whoever won would go ahead and like attack the enemies. That would be cool too. I like variety in the summons.
Square Enix, can you please hire
That-
us?
Yes.
Yeah.
That gives me.
We're your new story writers.
Yes.
What would you do,
Sorry,
Alexis?
Yeah.
That kind of gives me an idea. So I don't know if anybody here has played Persona 5 Royal, but they're like those
Hell
Showtime
yeah.
moves are basically like,
Yes.
special moves in there. I do like the idea of Zack and Vincent, but you could do that with like a ton of old characters too. Like some of the ones that came to mind were like having older like characters that aren't human, like maybe like Kate Sith, or I'm trying to think of who else. I had another one in my brain, but I
Red
lost it.
13.
Yeah, Red, maybe Vivi.
Ooh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
The like
You know,
black
stuff
mages
like
from
that.
9. Ooh, that would be cool.
Yeah, and have,
I like
like
that.
a special animation kind of similar to, like I said, the Showtime moves, or like, the Aeons in 10.
I like
yeah,
that one.
Something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, because they just
Hell
kind of
yeah.
recycle. Even though I love Ifrit, they kind of do tend to recycle Ifrit, Odin, Shiva, Bahamut, which I just would love to see. That's why I think I like 14 so much, is because they add some new stuff. They've got Alexander as like a whole thing. And they've got Lakshmi, which is not in the series very often. They do have another summon that's an NPC, and I can't remember what their name. They're like these little fairy creatures. I can't remember, but I think that would be really cool as well.
Why is there Kate Sith slander in the chat? I will not stand for this.
Oh my god! What are they saying?
Oh, Kate.
Oh, I like Kate
should
Sith.
die.
I like him
Fun.
too.
Kate Sith is my
Oh.
favorite 7 character, hands
I
down.
like-
Really?
I just like the like 7 and like Reeve. I just think it's like a fun like character arc and story. I'm attached to it. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I'm into it.
Oh, I
No,
love
I like
it.
that,
like
One.
Kirk is a hero.
He's also Scottish, which we love. We love some Scottish representation.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
hope that in remake they make him Scottish again, because in Advent Children he was, and I was like, oh, yes. So,
They need to give him like Sean Connery's voice.
oh my god, because I remember
They
I
have
was.
money to hire Sean Connery, maybe?
yeah.
No.
Oh, yeah, they
Oh, come
do.
on. They have
Maybe.
lots of money.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just need to put up a Save Aerith DLC, and then they'll have all the money in the world to hire
Oh,
Sean.
God.
Nice. I think the sales they got on just the first remake was enough to get them that kind of like.
Yeah, they're good. Plus they have like all the money from their exclusive licensing. Like they're fine.
They're fine. Square Enix is.
They also
very
got
good.
that Disney money from Kingdom Hearts,
They've got it all. There's the sky is the limit with Kingdom Hearts. So I mean, not Kingdom Hearts. Sorry, no, we don't want any more with Kingdom Hearts with Square Enix.
I mean, the
The
sky
world
is
has
the limit
progressed.
when they're just making shit up.
Exactly. I mean, that's kind of
Yeah.
what
They wrote that J.J. Abrams style.
they went real bad shit.
Like J.J. Abrams mystery box. Are we going to plan anything? No. But here's a bunch of cool stuff. Figure it out.
They literally just have like gibberish in the third one. And I think we talk about. I think all of us are just salty over how Kingdom Hearts 3 turned out because we all wanted it so badly, and it just turned out to be this like other language of a mess that no one understands, and everyone's just like, "Fucking A." So
What is this?
yeah. Ooh, what about
Um,
What about the rest of you guys? What would you
Yeah.
do with summons if you could?
I gotta think still. There's
Okay.
just so
I have an
many
answer, kind of.
options.
What's your answer, Doc?
Might be a little boring, but I just actually got thinking about it when Hylia had mentioned what she had said. It kind of got me thinking that like a lot of Final Fantasy thematically, they take a lot of stuff from like different religions of the world's like kind of subplots, right? They kind of like sprinkle it in there here and there. So I think it would just be cool to have more representation of different ones. And what I thought immediately is I thought Egyptian gods right away.
Whoa!
Ooh, nice.
Have
Yeah.
a pharaoh. Oh my god!
Mhm.
Coming out of
Yeah.
freaking
That'd be really cool.
Like a jackal head coming out.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
God, oh, they
That's
have
such a
such
good idea.
potential. I'm sorry. Bring some more
I wish
in.
that was my idea.
Yeah, it was
Okay,
just
so I've got 2 honorable mentions while
Oh.
Drunk still thinks, unless you know what you want, Drunk Gamerette? Or
No,
you
wait,
still
did
thinking?
Alexis go?
I did.
Alexis, did you go?
Yeah.
Oh, you went? Damn it. Okay, you go.
No, it's
Yeah.
not you.
Still need time.
Yeah.
So my 2 honorable
I can't go
mentions.
against Doctor's mention after.
So my
Oh,
2
looking at
honorable
you.
mentions are completely like absurd ideas. One would be a summon called Black Friday, where like a retail store opens up like over the
Jesus
enemies,
Christ.
and then they just get like stampeded by consumers.
That's the American Black Friday, though. I think.
Exactly,
like, someone
American
who's,
Black
like,
Friday.
And
That's
Then
a
the
Final Fantasy
second-
game set in the
Just people
Midwest.
brawling.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say you gotta
Yep,
have
exactly.
someone.
Just like storming in and running over all the enemies, and it did like maximum damage.
Yeah.
The second one would be called the Queen, and it would be Drunk Gamerette popping out of the ground, just sort of like waving her arm all elegant, and like an army of fucking Tonberries just come in and start stabbing her.
Hell yeah.
The army of them.
Like an army of Tonberries, just like doink 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 doink.
I
Ooh,
could
but
so
King
see it.
Tonberry himself would be a good summon.
Ooh, that'd be good. Yeah.
But he already is one, isn't he? With
Is he, though?
Yeah, in 8 he's a
Yeah, he only, like,
summon.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
like
I thought it went 7 then 9, and there wasn't anything between those 2 games.
No,
Oh,
there
no.
was King Tonberry. You had to really find him though.
oh, it was so cute. That was like when you were in the Cetra ruins, right? And you have to battle like 30 little Tonberries. You have to kill them to lure out King Tonberry.
Doesn't he have like a star
So
on
cute.
his head or something?
He has a
Yeah,
crown.
you do.
Yeah. A
Good.
star.
Royalty.
So cute.
Well, then
Yeah.
that's like the frustrating thing is because you're fighting Tonberries while you're trying to get to Odin, and you also have a time limit, and you're like trying to get through these Tonberries as quickly as possible to beat the time limit, and
That's
then you got to go and you got to get the king. Because if you get the king during the time limit, I'm sorry, your chances are over. So it's just that was also frustrating.
Yeah.
I did want to read a tweet we got about a frustrating summon story. So this was from Craig, who I think is in chat, was in chat earlier. The most frustrating thing for me was Eden in Final Fantasy VIII because I was faced a very tough Ultima weapon battle. A former friend thinks it was because I had about 6 GFs at max level. Something did change the difficulty of that battle for me. I remember getting that summon. I can't remember if that was an
Eden?
optional one. Eden, yeah.
Yeah, I think you draw Eden from Ultima Weapon,
Oh right, yeah.
and that's at the Deep Sea Research Center.
Jeez Louises, yeah. It's good that we all have different like experiences though, because it shows how we all play this game very differently.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one was a pain in the ass though. That one gave me anxiety.
Oh god.
I'm gonna think about King Tonberry. Feel better.
Stab.
It's
yeah.
so cute because when you like beat King Tonberry, he shrinks into this tiny little Tonberry and he like bows his head at you and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry."
Oh, shit.
Like, try to- Yeah, it's so precious.
In the perfect world,
So
Final Fantasy 16 would be about going to like the land of where Tonberries originate, and like something wrong with their kingdom. That'd be perfect.
Oh,
Yeah.
that'd be cool. Like, what if you had to like save the Tonberry race? Like, that'd be awesome.
That would be so good.
Oh,
Sorry,
Big
Hylia,
into that.
We just lost our screens, but keep talking. I'll bring us back while we're all talking.
Oh yeah, no worries.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know why.
I would
happened.
play that game. I would save all the Tonberries. I will take care of them, and I will feed them and give them water. All that good stuff.
That's why you're the queen of the Tonberries. You got to teach them how to stab, though.
I'm very good at stabbing.
Oh my god. Just shanking people in the streets. Are you? Is that what we're doing now?
Shit. Might have to. Like,
Oh god. Stay safe, everybody. Do you have any other questions?
I think that was everything
Wow.
that I really wanted to ask you all.
We all have some questions here. Sorry, I'm just adding us. I might just give up and just add this.
We all were very opinionated.
Yeah, but that's a good thing. I feel like we all kind of had different experiences for sure. And yeah, I'm just gonna give up on the fucking overlay right now.
I don't actually think we talked about it, but I think it's incredibly weird that they didn't use anima ever again.
They didn't.
Yeah.
After like Final Fantasy X. What a badass! Like so creepy, right?
Right?
Like,
They should
how
have
did that
used
not get reused at some point?
I know, right? Hella people in our community too. They were talking about how they loved anima.
Come on,
Especially,
Spring,
like,
get with it.
I think
Bring
Animus
anima
was
back.
great. Yeah, because I remember it like was haunting, and it was just very different from the other ones that are quite beautiful, almost. Just like really pretty and like aesthetically pleasing. But then Anima was just terrifying. So,
I
Holy
mean, before that
shit.
though, like Hades was also kind of the same deal,
Oh,
and he
true.
showed up in later games.
I don't know about you guys, but I really like how 6 did the summons. They kind of were more inserted into the story. I felt like I really liked it. I liked how they were, the espers,
Oh
and
yeah.
they were. I really, really liked it. And how they were like experimented in labs, and you had to go save them. I was like, wow, like it just gave them. It almost gave them more of a humanity feature to them, that they were like not humanity, but just that they were so mistreated just for their powers, and kind of that human versus magic ordeal. And I loved how they executed that. I really felt like they were just more present in 6 than anything. They weren't just there to help you, they were part of the story. So I don't know if you guys felt that from 6 as well. Yeah, if you haven't played 6, it's a good one. So
I need to play 6. I feel like I'm gonna cry though. Like, just not like
Your poor baby summons.
I know, yeah.
poor little baby summons being experimented on.
I know, and 6 is actually
Whatnot.
surprisingly not a very long game. Like it's long, but it's not as long as like some Final Fantasy game, or most of them. I felt like, I don't know, that was just me.
Oh, I hear you. Some of them definitely like dragged.
Yeah, for sure.
a
I
minute.
think I've spent like 200 freaking hours on 14. It's been horrible.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh god.
Cool.
You gotta get those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers, Hylia.
Oh my god. You don't even want to know my Animal Crossing numbers. They're bad. It's oh man. But yeah.
Oh wait, yeah. That does make me curious. What do you all like? Which installment in the series, and we can include Kingdom Hearts too, because I consider Kingdom Hearts part of Final Fantasy, anyways. Which installment do you think did the summons the best or the worst?
Alexis, you go first.
I'm gonna say I haven't played all the games, but so far 10, kind of like 6. At least at the end, they feel more integrated into the story.
Oh yeah.
Where you're having to
I
like get
agree.
rid of your summons too. Like I was like upset. I was like, I don't want to do this.
I cried throughout the whole process.
And Yuna is like crying during this whole thing, and she's like
I
literally
know.
killing her summons, and we're all just like, what the hell? We're like, what have we signed up for here? This is too
Yeah,
much.
they like
doing this.
cut to her, and she's sitting there like just like shaking while she's about to summon the next
sad.
one.
Oh my god. I forgot about that. Shit, I forgot that you...
Fuck.
Ah!
Yeah.
Too
They're like
many
one of the things
feelings.
you black out of your head.
Oh.
Try not to think about.
I know.
What was your least favorite, Alexis?
Nothing pops out as like being particularly like bad out of the ones I've played. But I don't care for ones like, for example, no offense to Final Fantasy VII, but like what, or like Kingdom Hearts, where they're just kind of a move.
Yeah.
It feels like, rather than just an actual thing that matters. They just feel like another magic attack, which is less interesting to me.
I agree with that. I totally feel you on that. I like having a little bit more control.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Doc?
Well, I think I actually agree with you, Alexis. Even though Final Fantasy VII is my favorite in the series, I think the biggest difficulty with it is if they're only going to do one move, they're going to be really difficult to balance in any sort of meaningful way, because you legitimately can beat like most of Final Fantasy VII with just using a summon materia. Like every single battle, just wipe them out. Like it gets so bad, I would I would get in a random fight with like 3 like low level creatures. I was like, Ifrit, take care of this.
Just to get it over with.
But I think this might sound weird actually, but I do really like how they did it in Final Fantasy VII Remake, where they came out and they weren't necessarily controllable really, but they were like a big presence and they were doing other moves, and when they ended they did their big move by themselves. I thought it was cool, like just because it was visually like awesome to be like, and now this thing's fighting with us. Like what are you gonna do about it?
Well, you also could use it as a
that monster stomping around.
Well, you could also use them as abilities, so you could like, instead of your abilities, it was the summons abilities, and you just use them
it took their time away, so I never did it though.
Yeah,
that's how I felt about it.
Nice. How about Hylia, Shadow? Any thoughts?
For me, I'd say old school again, 4 and 6 for plot. Like gameplay wise, like Doc has a point, like they were very overpowered and all of that, but like plot wise, like with Final Fantasy IV, there was like a sense of wonder and like magic when you can go to like the land of the summoned creatures, and then you can earn Asura and Leviathan, so that was really cool. And then you go to the moon, so it feels even more like magical and like so epic that you can go there and then get like the king of the summons. And then with 6, like the whole story, it's like Esper and human babies. Like that was really damn awesome. And then like you could tap into their materia and like enhance yourself thanks to these summons, and you can still use the summons too.
Yeah. I have a few. So for me, I just lost my train of thought too. 6 and 10 and 14, I really like how they did the summons because they were part of the story, and especially 14 where it's like a major part of the plot. They're not really for you, they're against you, and that's just something I think that was very unique and different. And then 10 and 6 are integrated in the story so well. I forgot about 10 and I mentioned 6 earlier, but I think the ones I didn't like is 9 and 8. 8 and 9, I should say. So 8, I think the reason it pissed me off so much is because you had to have one junction to you and you'd forget, and then you'd just be without abilities for somebody, and that would really... If you watched my stream on 8 a very long time ago, you saw how many times I did that. And it was just really annoying. And then 9...
Yeah, super frustrating.
Right. So 9, I'm on disc 2 of 9. I haven't finished it yet, but I am liking it so far. I haven't even been able to use them yet. Because I don't know why. Like, it's just the Garnet doesn't have enough MP to use them. And so I think that's just too late. Like, they should be introduced right away or, a little bit earlier. But right now I'm, like, almost done with disc 2 and I still don't have them. They got taken away from her at the moment from her mother. So it's just like, what do I do with this? Yeah, so it's just kind of annoying. Like, I want to use them, but I just don't have them. So that's kind of where I lie with that.
Feel that.
What about you, Vanessa?
Feel that hard.
Or sorry.
Yeah. Oh, I'm totally with Alexis on how I really like how 10 handled the summons, for sure. Definitely like having more control over them, getting to pick their abilities. They make for great, this is horrible, they make for great shields for your characters when a boss fight's about to like unleash this awful attack that could totally annihilate everybody.
It's so nice.
Oh yeah, I totally use that a lot, especially when I knew something bad was coming. I was like, okay, well, none of my characters are gonna survive this, so in you go, Valifor. Sorry.
Oh, I'd always have him first. He'd be my first sacrifice, kind of.
Sorry, love you.
I don't know about that.
Oh god, it was so bad. For least favorite, I'm gonna have to say 15. I just like, yeah, like I like how they played into the story and all that, but I just didn't like how random it was when they would show up. Like I never got Shiva or Leviathan if they show up. I
Yeah.
always either got like Ramu or Titan. After a while, I stopped seeing Ramu too, and I was like, "What the fuck did I do?"
Yeah, no, I remember that too. Like, they weren't really even there. Like, that was kind of another incomplete portion of that one too. Just, you can't have it all, can you? With these games, it's either one or the other. Yeah. I wanted everyone. Serena, I wanted you to show your tattoo.
Oh my!
Your beautiful tattoo that is
my
an
little
ode
Bahamut
to these
tattoo.
beautiful Final Fantasy games. I don't know if I hope you guys can see it. Tell us what it is.
So it's Bahamut's wings from Final Fantasy X, minus the gold medallion that spins when he uses Mega Flare.
It's so pretty. I love it.
That's cute.
Yeah.
That's so creative. Instead of like
Yeah.
angel wings, you're like, I got freaking Bahamut wings. Like, suck my dick.
I'm a basic bitch, but not really.
Yeah, I'm a gamer.
Catch this mega flare.
Yeah.
Catch this Mega Flare.
Does anyone ever comment on it? Is anyone like, oh, what's that? Because I'm like, I feel like I didn't recognize it because I never had seen it up close, and then you showed me. You're like, oh, it's Bahamut's wings, and I was like, oh my god! But does anyone ever like comment on it or like say anything?
Yeah, I actually got a really funny story.
Do it. Tell us.
Kind of. So, a year ago, my boyfriend and I, we were at PAX West up in Seattle, and we were at the Square Enix booth just playing all of the games they had. And one of the workers of that booth, like I don't know if they just like do a massive like job there for people to help out with these booths for the weekend, or if they actually ask their own employees to come help and run it. But I was wearing the same shirt, and we were playing Brave X, or we were demoing Brave X, or some new patch for Brave Exvius. And one of the person who was handling the booth was like, "Oh, I really like your wings. That's so cool. Where's that from?" And I was like, "Oh, it's Bahamut." And he was like, "Who's Bahamut?" I'm like, "From
Yikes.
Final Fantasy X." He's like, "Oh, it's Final Fantasy." I'm like, "You're running the booth."
Jesus
So
Crikey.
yeah,
Yeah,
You're
fired.
company. They're usually third party.
Totally
like,
fired.
advertising reps.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's usually a
just-
combination.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Like I know from most of those booths, there'll be like maybe one or two people who like are direct employees of the company, and then they'll like get extra hands to
Yeah.
help.
Damn.
Yeah, I totally figured that out after the fact, after it happened. But I was just like, "Come on, you know who this is."
It's like, what a
No,
poser.
no, No, it's like poor kid's just trying to work and pay his bills. They don't want to come down hard on him.
Of
But I was just like,
course.
"Oh,
Yeah.
let me show you a picture."
Job, and Serena's giving him a hard time.
Yeah.
She's casting
I'm
mega
that-
flare on him.
I
I'm
want to
a
talk to your
fucking
manager.
Let me speak to your manager.
Ah.
The Karen of PAX over here.
I don't think this man is qualified.
Baham Karen.
Jeez. I mean, good
Oh,
for you for
fuck.
not questioning him, because I definitely know there's some people out there that would be like really weird about it and just like either give
And
them
be
a whole
like
lecture.
offended.
Yeah, or be like offended.
Yeah.
So good for you for just being like, okay, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
anyways, a couple of announcements. So we are on Spotify. I think I said that last time. This was very recent that we got everything up on Spotify. Everything's up on YouTube. So I know that personally I don't like watching things on YouTube. I like to have it on Spotify so then I can just take it and go. So I hope that you guys, can tune in, or if you miss an episode, or if you just want to go back to our old episodes, you can do that. We're missing 2 episodes, and I'm having a hell of a time getting them up. I just cannot. It's our antagonist episodes. And I'm like, damn, these cursed freaking episodes. So I've just kind of given up for now. We're on Spotify. And we are kind of reworking our schedule. If we're not on every week, we might be on every other week now, just because, all of us are kind of going back to work. We're going back to school. We're going back to our lives, which is good. But also, we don't have as much free time as when we started this. So I hope that you guys will still tune in, and sorry we can't be here every week, but we do have lives and we need to take care of ourselves. So but yeah, so Vanessa, oh Jesus,
No,
I
it's
don't even
okay. I
think
totally
about it.
sprung this on you like
Drunk gamer
last
Rex.
minute.
I should just call you drunk. I always feel
And
weird
I did
calling
that.
you- huh?
all last week too, so you're not the only one.
I feel so bad. Serena, thank you for putting this together, because this is a wonderful topic and we talked about quite a bit. And Alexis, thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you, and I would like to be back. I mean, we can talk more later. Like I said, things are crazy right now
for everyone. It's like,
so who knows when, but sometime.
Of course, yeah, we'll definitely have you back when you're free. We are free, and yeah, this is, I mean, everybody who is going back to work, please stay safe, and I wish you guys the best. This is really I feel like it's almost more difficult to go back to work after all this time, because we are just like, our safety is being risked, and it's a lot. I just literally, while we were doing this, got a text about, so I'm a teacher, and our senator, or I'll say senator because most of the people listening are American, literally said, teachers are getting COVID more often. The teachers need to stay away from each other, almost like we aren't already. Like, it's fucked up. Yeah, like they literally.
Can we summon a better government and some N95 masks?
Yeah, let's summon that.
It was literally like,
we're not far enough along in the game.
Huh?
We're not far enough in the game to get that summon yet.
I know, right? But literally just said,
we have to grind a bit more.
I'm not even kidding you. A paragraph said,
have a couple more plagues upon us.
It said that, like, it's ridiculous the number of teachers getting this disease, and I'm like, we all knew it was coming. Anyways, I'll stop. I'll get off my soapbox. Thank you everyone for joining. Thank you for setting this up, Serena. Thank you for coming, Alexis. Catch us on Spotify. Catch us on YouTube, and catch us either next week or in a couple weeks. Join our Discord to get announcements, and I'm gonna type that in chat right now. All right. Thank you, everybody. Goodbye.